talked to the Prime Minister as of yet. I think I'm sure they'll set up a meeting with myself and other premiers. But let's continue moving forward in a positive fashion. And there's nothing more I'd want to do is get a fair trade deal. I don't want to get an unfair trade deal. At any given day, President Trump can wake up and say we're tariffing this or tariffing that, like he did the other day. Woke up, all of a sudden the cabinet manufacturers are getting tariffed. The furniture manufacturers are getting tariffed. 10% on our lumber is getting tariffed. So,
were you disappointed that there was no resolution or any kind of relief even for the auto sector or even for the steel sector?
He's going to target our auto sector. I'll fight like I've never fought before to protect our auto sector, to protect our steel sector, and any other sector that he wants to target. We have to make sure we leverage our strengths. But we can't sit back and let President Trump continuously increase tariffs and the Prime Minister's decreasing tariffs. That doesn't cut it.
Premier, any thoughts on your labor minister going to Paris this past weekend for the wedding of a lobbyist who recently got skills development funding for a couple of clients?
To be very frank, it's the first I've heard that he was over in Paris, but I'll find out if he paid for it, whoever paid for it, if it was government business or not.
Premier, the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, was up just before you. One of the things he said was America first, Canada second, and that it is increasingly the position of the Trump administration that they want to assemble vehicles in the United States and not in Canada. Did you hear that? What did you think?
I heard that, and it's very clear. We want to manufacture automobiles here. We buy as many as we sell down there. As I've always said, the auto pack's been around since the 1960s. You can't unscramble an egg, you have to make the omelet larger.
Have you heard that from Secretary Lutnick before when you guys have had conversations or meetings?
Not as clear as what he said today. So right away, you got to put your guard up and be prepared. I know the auto sectors don't want it. They do not want it. There was a report the other day, they're going to be out $107 billion because of tariff costs.
Does this now represent, in your view, an existential threat to Ontario's auto sector?
I would say it's a massive threat when you have the Secretary of Commerce coming out and saying that, and the President, you'd only say it if the President gave him the green light. So we have to be prepared, and the auto sector needs to be prepared. Not only our good uniform members, but also the Prime Minister. My first question, what are you going to do to protect the auto sector here in Ontario? It's absolutely critical because with every auto sector falls the part manufacturers and the steel and so on and so forth.
Are you going to try to talk to them? I mean, you're the Secretary, you're in the same building today. Are you going to try to talk to him?
No, he's not here. He was virtual.
What would you say if you got a chance now to meet with him?
Well, I'd say the same thing. Let's have a fair trade deal. I understand where he's coming for. He wants to protect the U.S. I want to protect Canada. I want to protect Ontario.
Is there more the province can do? I know that, when there was the economic downturn in the early 2000s, that you saw the collaboration between the feds and the province to help the auto sector. Is there collaboration that can be done there?
I believe there can be. First of all, I think we have to start off making sure when we can. I always emphasize when we can because it's not everything, widget. We don't make every widget in the world, but when we can, let's start buying Ontario and Canadian made, and the public can play a big role in that. But even with the premiers, buy Ontario made vehicles for your fleets. I'm not dictating to every single person. It's not realistic. Go out and buy everything Canadian auto. I get it. People have their favorite cars, but when you can, please buy Ontario, buy Canadian, and it helps out. And I think our free trade agreement amongst the provinces, interprovincial trade, taking down those barriers, are going to help our GDP. It's going to grow our revenues. So that's what we're going to do.
Premier,
last question.
Sorry, just in terms of leverage, you're talking a lot about leverage. What more other than keeping the U.S. booze off the LCBO shelves? I mean, you were prepared to pull that trigger on the energy surcharge, and that lasted about 24 hours. Might it be time to do that again, or are you not prepared? You're talking about fighting and not letting the autos.
But the energy. Howard Lutnick reached out to me and said, "Can we talk?" I flew down there. You take off the steel, and sorry, I apologize. You take off the steel and tariffs, and we'll take off the energy surcharge. Well, sure enough, they didn't, go by the rules. So what we can do, we're going to need energy to compete around the world. We can take the cheap energy we're shipping off peak hours and start giving them to large manufacturing companies to make themselves more competitive, because one of the highest costs out there are energy costs. And we're giving cheap oil down there, and we're giving cheap electricity down to the U.S. So we have to make sure that we're competitive, and I'll do whatever it takes to protect the people of Ontario, protect their jobs, and protect businesses. But thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. That's it.
Appreciate it.
Thank
I
you.
know this might not be the place for it. Anything on marine land?
Oh, yes, yes.
Because we heard that, because marine land says
Last
that they're
one,
working
thanks.
with the Ontario government now. Is there any movement?
Well, I just, like I said, the feds put the permit in, then they took it out. If the feds want to come up, step up, and I'll help them out. This is a challenge. You have 30 massive whales floating around, and a pool that's an acre that's full of algae. I'd like to go see it. I'm sure they probably wouldn't even let me through the doors, but our inspectors see it. And it's unfortunate.
But is
We have to
Ontario-
come
But
up.
the whales
taking
are your
action.
problem
This
now,
is it,
aren't
thank
they?
you.
This is a provincial issue, not a federal one.
It's not our problem. It's a privately held company, and the federal government put the permit in to bring the whales in.
But the Premier-
then they put a halt on the permit to ship them out. So
Is the province
But-
going to
but
seize
now
the
what?
whales, though? Is the province going to seize
Last
the
one.
whales?
I don't know if you got a big enough, swimming pool. I'll stick the whales there, but you can't just these are whales.
Yeah.
Right. So
No, but I mean, you
But
can
it's
seize
your
them. You can seize them.
All right,
responsibility,
everyone.
isn't it?
Thank you.
Well, no, I wouldn't. You have to put the blame on us.
Not the blame, but
No,
the
not the blame,
now,
but
It's a
in terms of what
responsibility. I think the feds need to step in and help us out.
All right,
But
thanks very
everyone.
much.
Thank you.